But check it out. The 6 shoulder piece as well. Last minute custom.
What is going on, everybody? We have another stream, another night. So get ready for this one, because the shinobi is in you. Anyway, seriously, all joking aside, do me a favor. If you're watching this right now, give me a big hee-haw in the comments. Also, do me another favor. No, don't do me a favor. I'm telling you to do it, because I said so. I want you to hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you're coming in now, say hee-haw, and let's have some fun tonight. So, we are definitely having Paul in here, and I have a special guest coming in. He's usually behind the scenes. He's from BMU's channel. He's the director, the engineer, and of course, I am talking about the one and the only Black David. Black David is coming on board tonight. He usually stays behind the scenes and does all the technical stuff for BMU. So tonight, I got him to actually show himself in real life. So we're definitely looking forward to that part. So I remember growing up, movies are my thing. I always loved movies as a little kid. They were something I enjoyed all my life, and I still do enjoy. I do really enjoy them. So I have my DVD collection. Believe it or not, I still have it. My DVD collection is about 300 to 400 DVDs. That's including anime, Disney movies, real action movies, martial art movies, action movies, comedy movies. I don't know why I'm saying movies, but you get the idea. But the movies I like are random stuff. So that is a big ass collection, I believe. Now, I always enjoyed it. So, it was a very good time in my life. But what made it perfect even was martial art movies. One of the first martial art memories I have as a movie was, believe it or not, the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were, to me, the best. Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit saying they're the best, because there are the movies. I think the 90s Turtles were the best one in the series. I know they did some anime movies. I know they did some remakes. The first one wasn't bad. Even the second one, I'll give it a 70 out of 100. Or a 7 out of 10. A little better. Now, with the first reboot, I'll give it close to more an 8 and 9. Now, the originals, I give it a 10 out of 10 personally. But again, it's La Jarga. I can't pronounce the goddamn word. That is hits me personally in my heart. Place that I kind of grew up. Because I grew up with that stuff. That was my shit. And I always will enjoy them. No matter when, how, whatever. None of that stuff. I wouldn't care. To me, was the best one. The second memory I have. Does anybody remember the movie called Dragon? Dragon is the technical term is Dragon, the true Bruce Lee story, but a lot of people call it Dragon. Dragon has a funny thing to me, because I couldn't understand what was it about when I was watching with my father when I was yay big back then. I was a kid, of course. Now, of course, I understand it really well. So, Dragon was, it's not much short to me. And that when I got older, I understand who Bruce Lee was, how he was, and everything. That hits home for me. It really does hit home, because that guy did. And obviously not everything's accurate to the T. We all know that. But it's still a very good martial art movie. There's some other ones out there. Who remembers Three Ninjas? Ooh, I loved Three Ninjas as a kid. The first one was awesome. They made a second one, but I haven't watched it in so long. I don't have a lot of memories of it, if that makes sense. If I go back and watch it now, I might remember scenes here and there. I believe it was called Kickback or something like shit like that. Yeah, I did call it Kickback. I know the guy who played the grandfather. He was a decent martial artist, believe it or not, from my understanding. And he had that little thing in his eye. Man, I remember that shit so well. But again, to me, it was a great, like, shit. Any kid growing up in that time in the 90s, like, wanted to be a Three Ninja kid. I don't care who the hell you are. To me, that was like the icon times, if that makes sense. They even make a game. Sega made a game called Three Ninjas. Shit. Now I remember. Yeah. Good times. The 90s was, in early 2000s a little bit, was a time of martial art movies. I would say most of them were very focused on ninjutsu, in other words. They really did focus on that a lot. I'll give them credit on that. But there were some other things. In any martial art, the greatest victory is over. Over oneself. If anybody can tell me who just said that, I will literally bring you up here and give you credits. If anybody knows that. And the person who said that, the victory over oneself, is Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was such a great talker. And I have some other quotes here too from other ones. But most of my quotes are from Bruce Lee. He was an icon. He started actually the whole, in my opinion, then I don't know facts. I feel like he started the whole martial art craze in the movies. With Tanto, I believe was his role in Green Hornet, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but man, watching him move. I remember watching the documentary. They had to tell him to slow the fuck down because of how fast he was. That's how good he was. He's always been that good. But damn, he was good. Here's another quote. Let me see if you guys can get some of these. Sorry. The art of war is a valiant improvement of one's state. Is a matter of little and death. A road that enters to sadness or runs. A lot there. Same. Well, we have our first person in that house today. Of course. Well, Stacy, official, unofficial cheerleader, I got a little secret to tell you. The secret is, and I'll tell everybody. I'm going to tell you about the end of the show. I'll tell you guys now. On 27th, we're doing Back to the 80s edition. Let's see how many you guys, how well is your movie knowledge and your movie guru and music and everything is. How well are you guys? I'm just curious. So I know my guys will be on in a little bit. I know Paul is running a little late. Let me check my messages. Yeah, he's to be something after 9:45 will be here. So in the next 5-10 minutes, he should be popping his head in here. Our little president. But yeah, martial art movies were always a good place for me. Maybe let me see how many of you guys remember this. Who remembers the movie called Sidekick? I'm just curious how many of you guys actually remember the movie Sidekick. Sidekick was a Chuck Norris movie. Can't remember who I was played with. I gotta look it up really fast because it was a very good movie, and it's actually, believe it or not, very hard to find on DVD, on anywhere, even a DVD. So the main character was Jonathan Brandis. Jonathan Brandis was also known for Sequest. Very, very good in Sequest, actually. Unfortunately, he committed suicide in 23. No, I'm 23. But his career died before then. But anyway, very, very good movie. Like, even if I type in streaming where I can watch this, you can't find it almost nowhere. I don't know why. It's just a good movie too. I saying Stars has it. Now I'm saying Hulu Prescription has it. Okay, there's some places that have it. Prime says has it. Let's check it out. I'm gonna look up Prime right now. I'm curious because I'm gonna watch this shit tonight if it is. I'll say about night. I don't give a fuck. It's not like I have to work the next day or something. Oh, where are you? There you are. But I remember, just watching a good martial art movies meant a lot back then. Who remembers, trying to name of it now, American Ninja. That's another good one. Oh shit, they do actually have it. Wow. I am a little bit shocked. Huh. I might be buying this movie tonight. But, joking aside, martial arts movies were always very good. If you had a good plot, you could have had a good movie. That's what made them so good, I think. It wasn't a bad movie. Now the question is, who made martial art movies really popular? Okay, Bruce Lee was who started this, but who made it problem? It was not Robin. Damn, what's his name? He's played in Bloodsport. Shit, that's another one actually good one if you've seen Bloodsport. Because now I don't remember. Can't remember his goddamn name now. He played in freaking a lot of movies. I'm trying to remember the name of the movie he played in. Oh man, what is his name? It's bugging me now. Shit. I believe he played in The Expendables. Here they are. Nope. Hold on. Because I know they did a movie with a series of The Expendables. The Expendables actually was a really good goddamn movie. If you're into that kind of movie, that is. That's the thing. Movies are like an itch. You have to like be into it. Let's see if we can find it. Here we are. Just need to find the character. Let's see if I can find this guy. think it was Expendable 3, if I'm not mistaken. He was recruiting a new team. I am pretty sure it was 3. How many of you guys have seen Expendables? That's my curiosity. Alright, let's get to see the list here, because I'm pretty sure it's under here. Pretty sure you played the villain in that movie. This one or the second, I can't remember which one it was. Not in the third one, I can tell you that for sure already. I can see that. Let's check the second one. Because it's bugging me, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's bugging the shit out of me. I tell you, I forgot Bruce Lee was Chuck Norris was in Expendables. Ah, here it is. Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's one of them who started that, and he was also with Steven Seagal. Funny story, actually. Back in '91, I believe it was. Seagal and Van Damme almost got into a real fight. And I think Seagal kind of like backed off. I'm not sure the whole story. That would have been an interesting fight. I'll be honest, that would be a very interesting fight if those guys got into it in their primes. Who'll win? But you know what's making me curious always? You know, I know there are all these rumors and stories why Steven Seagal started making movies. But what is the real reason why he started making movies? That is my curiosity. Why did he really start making movies? That is everybody's today's question. Why did he ever start moving? He was like America, like this, and like I don't care about that. The real reason. I want to get behind the scenes, see why he did what he did. As a martial artist, he's giving credit. As a martial artist, I got respect on that. Very respectful guy, from my understanding, when it comes to his martial arts stuff. So. Now, where are we with this stuff? Okay. So, martial art movies, like I said, there's different kind. Believe it or not, The Last Samurai, I know it's more 2000s, that is based on a martial art movie too. Because remember, martial samurais were trained under their martial art. And living their lifestyle that makes it as a martial art movie. Excuse me. So it goes either way. So when you talk about martial arts, what are we looking at? Anybody? So martial art is a form or a style of self-defense. And that's what we need to understand that. And martial art is a form. And Paul is on his way in. So we're going to see you in a few minutes, Mr. President. I'll get your intro ready. I'll get your manager ready. We'll get you, get ready to come in. Don't worry. I should change the Coming to America. Him coming into that. I might get copyright strike on that one. Shit. I don't want to get copyright strike right. But it'd be funny playing Coming to America. Do 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 do. I cannot know the words for it. Cry Kid. Ooh, that is one of my favorite. But which one, Stacey? 1, 2, or 3? Let's find out what you say. 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Have you seen the show Cobra Kai? Anybody seen the show? That's another one I like, actually, too. I'm going to hold off before we move on because I know Paul is about to jump in here any minute. I'll get his music ready. But seriously, which one? 1, 2, or 3? Come on. I know your fingers can type faster than you're a woman. You love the text. I know that for a fact. One. Okay. One was good. And yes, that's correct. You know how to text fast. So one was good. Now, my personal favorite. Ooh, that's a rough one. 1, 2, or 3. All three. I don't think neither of them. Here, I want to do a show on this, but I want to talk about it very briefly till Paul gets in here. So, I want to say between the 90s, 2000s too, a little bit, and 80s, I'll say. Sequels, like part 2s, were horrible. There's some exception, like Karate Kid was one of them, and Ninja Turtles was one of them. But how many times you watched a part 2 of a movie, and they were, oh my god. Have you watched the whole series? That is a question now, Stacy. And do you understand it like I do? Because I used to be a huge crackhead. Fun fact, I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Okay, where I pull it up. I'm trying to think how I do it now. I met Sensei Kreese. It was really brief. It was like a picture. Like, and go kind of thing. His line was huge. His line was humongous. So it wasn't like a fast. Me and CQ from Pop Culture Warrior, we met him together. I gotta give him credit. He's the one who got me the picture of him. His line was humongous. It was that or stay in line. And I really didn't want to stay in line. How dare you be on my channel and not watch Karate Kid, aka Cobra Kai show? How dare you? Are you trying to disrespect me? Seriously. No. No. You cannot be on this channel commenting to me if you're not a fan of Cobra Kai and you have not seen it. You're disrespecting me right now. How dare you? Yeah, I'm coming closer. Right here. How dare you disrespect me saying you have not watched it? See those words up there? Those words should never come out of your mouth. Because these are very good. So, alright. Enough bashing on you. I'll get back to you later. Let's get the president here. Because let's see what he has to say tonight. So, let's get him in here. Mr. President, welcome.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
How are you doing, my man?
Exhausted.
Yeah, you sound tired.
I just finished my workout. It's been a long day, and I was like looking at the prospect for tomorrow. I was like, look, I got to get this workout in, and so I kind of pressed through it. I'm not a morning person, but I typically like to train in the morning. So I didn't think I had like my 100% self, I guess, going into it, but I pressed through it, and it was still like a mixed bag of highs and miss marks and whatnot. But it is what it is. But at least I got it in. But typically, like I said, I like to train in the morning and also fasted. I like food in my stomach when I train. So typically, I like to start the day like that, and then eat and feed for the sort of the rest of the day. So it's a little different, but yeah, you're definitely feeling the brunt of the day and whatnot, and the week is wearing me down a little bit, but I'm here.
Honestly, I used to train in the morning, and it was rough for me because I used to be, as much as try to go to bed early, coming home when I get off work, then I'm still wired. I do a couple things for my mom, walk the dog, whatever the case. I have shit to do. Right. Morning wasn't for me. And doing a fasting workout, that was not a good idea. My sugar drops way too low.
Yeah.
But both my parents diabetic, so I have to watch
keep in mind, most of my workouts are like under an hour, so it's for me, I can 30 minutes to 45, sometimes an hour, depending on what I'm doing. So the fact that the workout is not very long, but it's very intense, so it's kind of trade off. The higher the intensity, the lower the endurance of the exercise. Don't do that kind of stuff. So I can get away with but then again, as soon as I'm done.
Paul, I'm not sure what's. Oh, okay, he got kicked out for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on, guys, on his side. So I'm not sure if it's an internet problem or my problem. Okay, let me try to get you back in here, Paul. Hang on 1 second. Let me resubmit you. Not sure what's going on. Still glitching. Let's see. He's off again. That's weird. That is so weird. Alright, give him a second to do what he needs to get done, and let's see what the next comment is, because I'm gonna probably yell at her right now. No, they have not been out, just came out. Don't be a liar. You know. Alright, you good, Paul?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I'm just, yeah,
okay.
You know, is
I switched
it
over my Wi-Fi. It might have been on a different Wi-Fi, so I just switched it over. So hopefully that shouldn't happen.
Now, what were you saying? Because we were breaking up really bad before.
So what I was saying was, you know, when I train at night, it kind of throws up my recovery protocol off. Usually I train in the morning, and then the rest of the time I'm sort of refeeding for the rest of the day. So when I do it at nighttime, obviously I'm not going to have a ton of feedings. I may, like the meal I just had, I had to get a meal in post-workout. So that might be my last meal of the day. And so then I got to go, you know, until the next day, you know, 10 to 12 hours before I eat again. So like I said, it just throws everything off a little bit. But, you know, the important thing is that, like I said, I had to get it in. And, you know, so I'll just probably just still be drinking more, like I said, amino acids and post-recovery, you know, anti-inflammatory stuff. You know, try to get myself back together.
Yeah, it's. I've been my personal routine has been great. I also got myself on Black David. He's gonna be here in the next 5 minutes, so we're gonna have our full cast up here in a minute. So yeah, like I said, my workout has been pretty good actually lately. I have not missed a workout, and I'm very proud of that. Now what I've been doing lately for me personally is workout days, because I work out late. My protein shake, we're usually done. Me and Stacey are usually done with the gym about 10:30ish. So I get my protein shake, and that's it for the night. I'll do a 10-hour fast those days. But days I don't work out, let's say tonight, I stop. I stopped eating at 6-ish. But I had a little Celsius. I don't know if you want to count that, but I personally do. So 7 o'clock was my cutoff there. Right. So technically about 11:30 should be my cutoff. I start resuming eating, because I use the app called Zero. I don't know if you heard of it. Yeah, I use that, but I'll be over that because at the time
that's all you say. You say Coke Zero?
No, the app Zero.
App Zero. Oh yeah. no. It's a training app, or it's a diet app?
It's a fasting app actually. So you fasting? You just plug it in, and it tells you, it times you down. Hang on, there you go. It gives you an idea how many hours you need to fast, when you need to stop. So it gives you 16 hours automatically. So if you go
16-8 by default.
Yeah, you can adjust that if you're in your goals and everything like that. Tomorrow I'm gonna be over 16 easily, and according to my coach, he says sometimes you want to do over 16. That's where the body actually starts burning fat, is over 16 hours. So
okay,
I'm not too sure about that. That's more your department. What do you think?
Start burning fat after 6. Well, I mean, you start burning fat generally when you stop eating carbs. So really, I think a lot of it's what you're putting in. When you deprive the body of carbs, the body then starts to break down the triglycerides in your stored fat cells and starts releasing it for energy. Or when you're doing like a low intensity exercise, you also start burning fat doing that. But as far as, you know, it sounds kind of counterintuitive to me, because usually muscle is the most biologically expensive thing that you have. So if you are in a fasted state, the body can very easily get rid of muscle, because it's like, look, this is weight. It's like carrying like a weighted vest on, because with muscle you got to feed it and you got to rest it and train it and all those sort of things. So so usually the body wastes away. Like, I know for a lot of people, I know your Easter's coming up soon, but just got through Easter season. I know a lot of people who fast during Lent season, at least in the Protestant church. And for a lot of them, like they report like great gains. I said, look, one guy at work, he's like, yeah, I stopped drinking beer, lost 20 pounds, and stopped eating sweets and all that kind of stuff. But then there's the rebound, where oftentimes they gain more weight than when they lost, and what they gain back is muscle, because you can't easily just regain muscle. Muscle is difficult to build and easily wasted. Especially if you have like muscle wasting syndrome that people can develop as well. So the weight that a lot of people get back is not the muscle, because you got to get back into things. So I like I said, I'm not I'm kind of neutral sort of on fasting or intermittent fasting. Certainly, I definitely think caloric balance, what you're taking in versus what you're bringing out. Also, the quality of what you're taking in and out. Like, I don't think like if you said like 2,000 calories, I think what that 2,000 is made of, I think that matters. Some people say it doesn't. But but certainly, I'm always going to prioritize protein over carbs. Like, carbs is like the last thing I eat. So for me, proteins is first, fats are second, and then carbs are conditional based on what my need is. It's the lowest input that I have in my diet. So I think those for me are so parameters I like to work in. But to say going over 16 hours that you go into a fat burning mode over a muscle wasting mode, especially if you're exercising in that process. I think you can do what's called gluconeogenesis, where the body breaks down muscle fibers and gets glucose out of the muscle and feeds that for energy. I think that's more likely to happen in a fasted state, but that's a debate. So I've seen guys go back and forth on that guy, and it really, these days, it's all about who you're listening to. You can find evidence for one sort of mindset or another, and I just try to stay above the fray a little bit.
I was always a big fan of this eating small meals through the day. That's how I always was trained. But Nick is a big believer in this one, so I'm giving it a shot. I'm still pretty new at it, so I'm still going to give it time and see how it works. But one thing, he makes sure he really hit on a nail. Like, the days that I do fast long, he wants me to make sure I give him all my protein and still. So yeah, that's very important. He doesn't care about the carbs. He goes, if you can avoid those carbs, like, remember that. Not avoid it, eliminate, and like lower the carb. Let's say if you're doing, like, say 2,000 calories, let's do only 1,000. I'm just throwing numbers out there, obviously.
I still have a lot of carbs. That's stuff. So if you talk about 50% of your diet, or say 2,000 calorie day. So 4, that's 250 grams.
No, I'm just throwing numbers out there. I'm not saying that's in my numbers.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing randomly, not throwing random numbers out there. I'm not sure. I have everything plugged in my phone. The numbers. I don't even remember them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's, I gotta make sure the protein's more there than the carbs, and that's, I agree on that part. Ever since I've been training, my strength has gone up a lot. Like, I just PR'd my bench actually the other day. The first time I've done in my adult life, 245 plates on both sides on a bar.
Oh, nice.
I was very happy. 8 reps too. Full 8 reps
at 225.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I was like very happy with that. And I did 125 for leg press. That was a PR for me too. So pushing that, like I was actually very happy with the progress we have done already.
So you said 2 45-pound plates on each side.
No, one of each side.
Oh, so that's 135. No, that's still great though. That's still awesome.
That's good, because I was plateauing at about 50 pounds in a dumbbell. So that's why I was staying away from a barbell, because it was I couldn't handle it with all that weight.
Well, yeah. Plus, it's a different. It's working with a barbell versus dumbbells. It's also just biomechanically it's different. Like with a dumbbell, there's so many stabilizer muscles that you have to take in mind. Yeah. Whereas with a barbell, it kind of takes a lot of that away, so you're not as worried about the balancing. But yeah, with the dumbbell, you really got to be all this has to be locked. All this has to be tight. You have to keep your range of motion very tight as you're using it. But a barbell kind of solves that for you, where you just can kind of throw all your energy in it without all that stabilizer stuff. But again, some people, say you should alternate, do barbell for some time and then switch over, do some dumbbells for a stretch of time also. But again, depends on what your goals are. At this point, I'm definitely much more machine or plate loader, like the gym we went to, the muscling gym, had like a lot of the plate loaded machines. That's kind of more my speed now. Like I very rarely will go into like the free weight stack for bench or whatever. I just, right now, just longevity and safety, I think, have become more prioritizing to me over time. I just posted on my Instagram 10 years ago. I did for a deadlift. I did 452 for 2 reps in my pursuit of 500. I only got to like 485. I got like 1 rep max was like 485. Mm-hmm. But these days, like I don't even do 1 rep maxes anymore. It's like, and I kind of say like in my post, it's like, yeah, my younger self, I was more reckless in my 40s. Then now that I'm in my mid 50s, I'm not as reckless as I was in my 40s. So, so yeah, so I go through seasons. Like if I deadlift now, I might put like 225 on for reps or 275 for reps or whatever, but I'm not trying to hit the wall like I used to. Like I said, at my age now, because you can be feeling very good, and that at any time you pop a hammy, you can do a lot of different things. So I try to train within within certain range, have at least 5 to 8 repetitions minimum, and then try to build from there, get up to about 10 to 12 plus. And then you add weight on at that time. So I just did, last week, I did 285 on the squat for 10 reps. And I haven't done that probably since my 30s. So, so I'm kind of building up, but I'm not, if I could probably do like a 1 rep max or, a couple reps at 315 now if I wanted to, but I'm just not risking that. I'm going to, if it's going to be done, once I get to like 12, 15 reps, I get to like 295. Then 300, and it's just going to build over time. So it might not be until like the end of the year, or I might even try 315. And even if I try 315, it's got to be like a minimum of 6 reps. But I'm not going to be doing, get in that hole and can't get out. Not on the freestanding squat anyway.
So personally, this is my personal. I have no science, so putting all that weight on your back always makes me very nervous. Long terms, like you're doing almost 500 pounds. Pushing that bar up, that cannot be good for your back. So I'm
well, yeah. I mean, it strengthens your back as you do it. So again, there's the balance between things that strengthen your back and your core versus exceeding. That's what I'm saying. You keep the reps relatively high. You don't, going in for like the 1 or 2 rep maxes. That is, I think you're putting yourself in a danger. But you need to be able to use a weight that you can comfortably handle. And that's the problem, what a lot of people do. They try to go in, they got the spotter behind them and whatnot. But my thing is, if you need a spotter for like 1 or 2 reps, it's probably too heavy for you. Unless you're actually like a weightlifter, like in competition for weightlifting. I don't see reason for guys to be handling that kind of weight on your back. If you could do like 10 reps comfortably or 8 reps at least minimum comfortably, then you're kind of in a good space. And also you got to watch your form. Some guys lean forward too much, so you got to watch your form as you're doing it. So again, you build up over time. Like when I teach guys, squatting is the last thing I teach guys. Like I don't introduce people to squatting right away. You have to be with me for a while. You have to show me that, you can handle doing it. And we're doing it like with no weight, or we're doing it with free weight or like a weight vest. We're going to do that for a while before I even introduce you to a bar. Because unless your mechanics are good, how you start, you're going to build those negative habits as you increase weight or as you go into the bar. So I'm very meticulous about how I go about training people, how to squat properly, and also to their body shape. Because if you're long-legged or whatever, there's no need to go butt to ground on squats. If you go parallel, even a little bit above parallel, as long as you keep the tension on the quads, or depending on how you do it. Now, there's 2 types of squats I do. I do a quad-dominated squat, and I do a hamstring-dominated squat. So it's the path down and the flexors that are used a little bit different in each one. But I do 1 set of each, and I'm certainly stronger in the hamstring one, because that one you kind of bend over a little bit more, and you also lower the bar a little bit more on your back. The first squat is like sits right on the top of your traps. The second one, on top of your neck. The second one is like on the lower part of your traps. So the fact that the bar is lower, you can, and also you're going to bend over a little bit more. You can handle a little bit more weight, and so there I'm much stronger there. For the high bar squat, I only do like 235. So I can do another 50 pounds on there. So
Paul, let's get our next opponent in here. So, like I said earlier, he's a special guest. He usually stays right back, relaxing. And we are talking about, obviously, my man, Black Davis, finally in front of the camera in grooming reviews. Welcome to Operation Hangout, my man.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Just had a long ass day.
You always have a long day. You never stop. Even now. So, Paul, I'm going to ask you the first question too. He catches up with us.
That background, is that coming from David, or who was the background noise from?
That's from David. I muted him for a minute.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, so, Paul, let me ask you a question before we move on to our
sure.
martial art movies. Obviously, all three of us are huge fans of martial arts. I'm a martial artist. Black Davis is a martial artist. So let's give me your opinion about martial arts. What inspired you? What you like about martial art movies? What is like fascinating to you?
Different aspects, and it's reflected in my top 5, right? So there is the the skill or the acrobatics. So again, if you go back to like the Shaw Brothers movies, the Venom Clan movies, Five Deadly Venoms, Unbeatable Dragon, those type of films, the artistry of it, the coordination, it's like dancing. But then you look at martial arts as a fighting style. You look at a movie like Bloodsport, where you get to see all those different fighting styles in one arena. So before MMA came on, you had the styles from all over the world fighting like the monkey style, and then you got the big brutes, and then you got the Thai kickboxers, and just the different aspects of what people do to self-defense. And then you have like some of this moral and spiritual aspects of it, or the Mission by the Bruce Lee movies. It was always about the outcast using his ability to defend other people. So if you look at Return of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon, it was like there was always like an innocent people that he always sort of came on to protect. So it was that aspect. And then there's the growth aspect, from where you are getting to a certain place or building relationship over time. So aka like the Karate Kid, the original with Ralph Macchio in '84. So again, each type of film addresses a different type of aspect of the martial art. Now, the Shaw Brothers stuff might not necessarily be as practical because they're doing wire work and they're doing like all this Matrix style special effects stuff, jumping 20 feet in the air and doing a lot of things that scientifically doesn't make sense, but it's catchy. It's catchy to the eye. So there's certainly more of a choreograph of the movement, but it's still, like I said, it's still very eye popping. And like I said, I got onto that very early on. Like I said, we used to have Kung Fu Theater. They used to come on Saturdays, and we would watch they had like 2 or 3 karate movies on over the weekends or whatnot. So that was your thing. Then when you got older, once you got like the VHS, you would go to the strip mall or the flea market, and guys would be selling bootleg movies of different karate films and whatnot, and martial arts, kung fu films and things of that nature. And then you sort of build a collection. I don't have a huge collection of films, but certainly now, but like with YouTube, like I'm always watching some sort of clip of some sort of action and whatnot. And I think there's a range of different, depending on what you like, there's a lot of different styles that are out there depending on what you're looking for. Me, I kind of like more of the combative stuff where you're trying to win. You know what I'm saying? It's like
the fighting stuff.
You're you're fighting, but there's like a purpose to the fighting where you're trying to defeat your opponent. So for me, there's a fight that can go on too long, where you're just really stretching it out, doing all kinds of things that are not even practical in real life fighting. But then there's the stuff that's like really kind of for the street or things meant to sort of end things quickly. So I do kind of like those kind of things, and I do like a little bit, but at the same time, I do like a little ebb and flow. Like sometimes with a lot of the martial arts films, you'll have it where like the main hero in the film, he's almost like unbeatable, and sometimes you want to have it where like the last fight, like the big boss or whoever it is, it should be pretty competitive. It should be like, at any point, like the hero could lose. Mm-hmm. But if you make it like the guy, is just, has like godlike powers or whatever. So for me, like Bruce Lee films, my favorite fight scene in a Bruce Lee film is actually from the Big Boss. The final fight scene with the Big Boss is my favorite Bruce Lee fight because it was the most competitive fight. But having said that, the fight with Chuck Norris, which is considered one of the classic fights of all time, it wasn't a great fight. It was sad to watch the fight because of just how you just saw, once Bruce made the adjustment, Chuck just had no answer, and it was just seeing like slow death. It was kind of tragic the way that fight ended, and I just wish that they could have built into it more of, okay, Chuck makes a stand, or makes it more where it's like, he's supposed to be like the best fighter that money could buy, but Bruce took care of him pretty easily. So I never liked that aspect of some of his work because it's like, the guy, you build up the movie that, oh my gosh, this guy's really so bad. If you beat him too quickly, you diminish what you did. I think in the process. So there's a so like I said, there's a range. I'm long stroking here, but there's certainly a range of different aspects of what martial arts movies typically do that I appreciate.
Yeah, it is a huge difference. But the newer ones are more like more even with their the newer ones. So Black David, let's get you in here and see what you think. Are you muted, bro? I unmute on my side.
I got you.
All right, you got it?
Yeah. What's your question?
So, what interests you in martial art movies? What is makes you fascinated about it? What it draws you to it?
The thing that drew me to martial art was more the discipline. Because when I took it, I had a severe anger issue. Whereby there's a lot of uncontrolled rage that I had growing up that I couldn't get in check. So when I thought martial was more like a key of controlling myself, putting myself under control, so I won't have to latch out. But when I got into the traditional one, which was Chituilco at the back of my country, I didn't know I got myself in something much bigger than what it is, because there was a oath one have to take before you be part of the class. That you had to promise you don't use mixed martial arts for the sake of bullying people, getting into fight, do all kind of crazy stuff. So that's what I knew. I said, oh shit, I'm getting about to become big what it is. I'm not gonna lie. I had my butt handed to me the first 3 months. And I don't think anybody understands this. When you're doing these type of things outside the U.S., it's like anything go. I felt like I was taking it from Japan because, for one, in Africa, the heat is ridiculous. That's number one. I don't like the sun. Cooking me. And I say beating me, keyword. In America, the sun beats you. Did it? But when you're in Africa, the sun cooked your behind. There was a time I was part of the light skin brigade before I went to Africa. Then I got converted to join the dark skin brigade. When I say the sun will cook your behind, that is one thing. Then you're forced to train in that same code of ethic that the guys in Japan train. There was no sneaker, there was no shoe. We were able to get ID, but before we get ID, we had to wait the money for it. Everybody training barefooted under the hot ass sun on concrete ground, and everybody say the same thing. You smell something? That when you start to smell your own feet cooking. I remember one time they made us do 20 laps around our dorm building. 20 laps. We thought that sensei would lose his mind. So imagine we started with about 60 students. Within the first 6 months, it went from 60 students down to almost 15. So the sensei knew not everybody going to take it seriously. So when we start the training, I'll tell you under the white belt, this is Shichua karate. You do the lap, the squat, you do 1 lap of duck walk under the sun. You do 2 lap of frog jump under the sun. You're doing push up. That even worse. You put your hand on hot concrete ground that the sun have be gleaming and cooking and raising. Then you start smelling your hand too when you do the push up. Then I can remember this was also very excruciating, fellas. Please don't look at me and ask me why we did it, because it's part of the training. We gotta do that stretch. Then you have to do the full split, like back on Bloodsport when John Falkland and Van Damme had to have the rope. We felt that way, right? The first 3 months was on probation. After we made it through the first 3 months, the center was not taking it easy with us. So we had to go down further. Stretch, I like to do a full split. If you don't go lower, he will come to you, kick you in the stomach. Now, you think you're going to fall. While you going this way, he kick you right behind the back. You right back to the middle.
That shit happened to me so many times. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried? You're like trying to do a split. You're trying to do a split. You can't get all the way down, and your instructors grab you from your shoulders. They go,
hey! Please don't remind me. Please don't remind me. I hate you for this, though. Google review. I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett. That what he just did right now was traumatizing, because that exactly he did everybody. He come behind you. Nah.
Okay, so Paul, so I understand. So I understand. You know the what's his name? The who played in Bloodsport did this big split. I just fucking looked his name up before. Who did the split? Like 2 chairs out. Yes, thank you. For us to do that correctly, like men, you need to do 2 things: get a cranker, it cranks your legs right open, or you get somebody grab your shoulders and go, "Hi, clink!" It's right down.
Yeah, but they would have made it worse, because the way he did it, we were on concrete ground, mind you. So until beating us, he come behind us and tell, "Stop being a bitch. Go down further." You push most of us down. You can tell we are screaming and excruciating. If you fall, I will kick you again. Now, psychologically, that will F you up. Mr. Ben, I'm telling you right now. You trying your best not to fall forward. You try your best not to fall forward.
But I've heard mixed views on that. Like, some guys, instructors say, like, stretching, it takes a long time. You don't go past your limits, your breathing, all that, like it takes time.
It takes time. That's true. That's true.
The idea to push you forward, I mean, you can easily tear a hammy or,
That was one part.
Hammy, that's the best thing about it.
If you traditionally with no equipment, but that was the first part. If you can go down low, know what much you had to do? Sit against the wall, open your leg, then one of your team members will come to you. You got to hold their hand. They will put their leg on both ends on your feet, and you have to pull them to you, or they'll come close and push the leg even further.
So, Paul, is this
you know the sound you hear a bunch of guys screaming like girls in the dorm, and the girls are coming by laughing, don't know what we're going through, what hell we're going through, and we're like, ah! It doesn't feel normal at first. After a while.
So, Paul, so understand, is this probably ripping ligaments, torn muscles, peeling him, even pulling your groin? Yeah, you're probably going to go through all that. But this is the sacrifice you pay to be a martial artist.
Wow.
If you want these perfect kicks, like you see in those, like the karate kick pictures, the guys kicking around house, perfect one all the way up to here. You got to stretch those muscles out, and sometimes stressing out the muscles.
But how do you train though with a pull, groin, or hammy then?
Sit up, yeah, man.
I'll make it better. The thing is, a lot of us, we don't know this, but when we put the train our body to be very, very flexible. When your body is so rigid and so stiff, it takes time. So when we knew, and here's the joke about this. I remember back in junior high, we did a different kind of force play. It wasn't like John Combat, then it was more like sideways. And I had an advantage, but I haven't done it in a while. So guess what we had to do every night? We had to train each other, pulling. We do all type of stretching just to stretch our ligament in between our legs, because we realized we haven't done these things in, if you haven't done it or you never done it at all. So imagine every day, every night, you're constantly working on it, You got to get closer and closer and closer. Now, one of my high school best friends, he was a show off, half Russian, half Nigerian. He was going further. You think, come on, it's not that hard. And when you're in the class, everybody turn around and was like, I'm gonna kill you. He's showing off, and the same thing. Good work, keep going lower. And he comes to everybody else and do the same kick, front and back.
Wow.
It felt like those type of old school kung fu movie. You see the two they getting punished and the ace two they getting praised, and y'all all looking at him like, we need to kill him fast.
Like my instructor was sick. He was sick in the head. I'm guaranteed. Shane, if you watch this, fuck you. So he was sick in the head. So he used to literally, as he always had an opening class speech as we're warming up. So he when he was in a bad mood, he just walk across our stomach as he's talking, as we're doing sit-ups. You're going down, as you're going up, he goes, glunk, under here.
Mr. Bennett, these sensei or these senpai, they're not like personal trainers. They're more like torture trainers.
You know what? I got pushback on this.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, but how do you, let's say you have a legit pull, groin, or hamstring. You can't walk. So how can you train if one of those muscles get...
The rules in my dojo, my rule was you show up, you train.
Think on it. I hate to say this, but we have people who say that same bullshit. But when they get through you, you have to ask yourself the same question: how was it possible that I'm able to do it now? Like, you realize?
Paul, I'll put it this better way. The way my instructor said to Master Ray, let me ask you a question. It goes to you. It goes to me straight, like I'm looking at you straight up. It goes, will your enemy stop fighting you or attacking you because your groin's pulled? I go, no. So why does it make any difference? You have to learn to work around that pain somehow. Of course, if your groin's pulled, you're not going to be throwing roundhouses. You're going to be preventing some things. You're going to cut back on some stuff. So, except using, let's say, a snap kick for the day, you're going to use your hands more the day. We're going to baby it a little bit, but we're not going to look at you, little boy. None of that. I know you're disagreeing right now, but this is the sacrifice and the martial art needs to take. I know you're probably looking at me like you're thinking we're both me and Black Arrow crazy in the heads. Probably you're thinking, and you're probably right. We're missing some marbles up there.
Let me tell you this: what they taught us how to do proper stretching, I didn't realize if it's not done every day, it doesn't loosen. You're not able to loosen your joint the way it's supposed to. And what we did day in and day out, non-stop, after the 5th month, almost most of us was able to do the full split because we were trying to shock. And he explained to us why he put us through the hell, because first of all, you need to understand your body. That sometimes thing you be doing for the regular, it keep your body to be stiff. If you want to know people who constantly stretching, constantly doing the flexibility stretch, whereby you have 2 legs. Now, this one even worse. You know how you have to keep your 2 legs close together and stretch? Then you have to go forward, hold your ankle, hold your head, your knee.
Yeah.
A lot of people cannot do that.
Right.
We had to do that too, to the point whereby now you make me live what I had to go through. Everybody go behind your team member. I hate you for this. Remember you.
Well, hang on. We should probably save some of this because we already said from the Gray Area show that we need to have a part 2 on martial arts. I know that tonight was supposed to be more so about martial arts movies. So I think we should probably.
Paul, I was going to say this to you actually.
Yeah.
This is not like
the trainings, and especially if we can get a couple more martial artists on, and you guys can all share your war stories.
I'm actually working on something.
I'll be the moderator for that. You guys sit back. I'll moderate. You guys share your war stories about how you were tortured and beat up and all that kind of stuff for the love of it. Yeah, so that would be. So I think we're already having it's good. We're kind of fleshing something out here, but you just gave me inspiration that we should probably save that for a Gray Area Part 2 on martial arts.
But I'll be honest though.
How everybody's
Auto training, it taught me discipline. It taught me consistency. It taught me how many. You never knew what your body can really do.
Right.
You go through it. But anybody who have taken mixed martial arts from a much younger age, I was jealous of them. When I say jealous, I was extremely jealous. Going to the people of China and going to the people of Japan. Imagine trying to have a country that made sure every kid enrolled in Kung Fu school. And what they had to put them through by the time they get older than their teenage years. No one there is a punk, to be honest with you.
Right.
No one there is a sissy. Everyone is a fiction to defend themselves. Everyone is a fiction to take out somebody.
Right.
That is what it is. I'm not really gonna lie about it. That's how bad it really was. I was like, God damn.
So back in the day, this is coming from my instructor directly, from his grandparents and his parents. Remember, his parents was half Chinese and half Japanese. I mentioned on the Gray Area. People haven't done all that. So his mother was Chinese, and she told me, my face, back in the day, her grandparents, even further back, it was a requirement. A keyword, requirement. I'm not sure about the women, but the male had to take Kung Fu classes. You gotta go to school, do your thing, come home, clean, whatever, and then go to second school is Kung Fu. It's part mandatory to learn that. Because they believe, you have to be ready, prepare yourself when you go serve the army. So, best way is to learn martial arts. That is their native thing to do. Again, things have changed now over there too. Like, that's not mandatory, but there are classes all over the place with Kung Fu. I'm not sure if there's something you have to pay for. I don't know details and like that. But it's a beautiful art. Don't get me wrong. Every art is beautiful in its own way. So here's the second question I got for you guys. And I don't want to get too much off topic, because the thing I was going to say before I get into the question, the part of the Gray Area Part 2, Part 3, and so like that, this is going to be a multiple parts martial arts, because me and David are going to be talking about this for hours on end about martial arts. So as much as we say Part 2, it's going to be a Part 2 on the Gray Area, but we can intersect all of these, I believe. So, favorite martial art movies or actor? Which one you guys think? I already know which one Paul's gonna say. I bet you $100 I know it already.
Now what?
He's gonna say Bruce Lee. I know it.
I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time.
Favorite martial art movie and favorite martial art actor. I know exactly what you're gonna say already.
Favorite martial arts movie is I can't name one, because, like I said, my top 5. Each one addresses a different aspect of the martial arts that I like. So again, the 5 Venoms is right up there. 5 Deadly Venoms there. Unbeatable Dragon is up there as well. It's a Venom Clan film, but I like it because of the training. I always like movies where you take a student and he has to learn a discipline or style in order to beat like the opponent that he has. Okay. So I've always been a fan of that kind of aspect, and so Unbeatable Dragon, part of the Venom Clan series, is there. Enter the Dragon obviously is up there as far as showing that really launched the martial arts craze in America. You mean, you had that, then the next year Carl Douglas comes out with Everybody's Kung Fu Fighting, and that just there was a craze in America that launched. I think martial arts really worldwide at that point, and it really gave Bruce the notoriety that he really wanted, in the film. And like I said, Bloodsport, Again, that sort of tournament style, just seeing all those different styles and disciplines there. And like I said, Karate Kid, the story, the mentorship, that's like as old as time, that the sort of, it's like Star Wars with Obi-Wan and Luke, what I mean? Like that mentor, that sort of paternalistic role that somebody may have, the relationships that are built. So again, it's hard to pick one. No movie's going to capture all aspects of that. And again, let's be honest, the martial arts in Karate Kid is not that great, but the story is great, and the emotional connection is great, and so you appreciate it for those reasons as well. So again, you can't pin me to, if I had one film to watch, you lock me away on an island, I got one film to watch. It may be Enter the Dragon, or it might be the Five Venoms.
Okay,
but,
I'll give you that.
It's a very tough question to answer because because again, there's just so much depth to each film that it's hard to. And then you got the Ip Man film, at least the first couple Ip Man films have certainly in recent years has certainly got me interest as well, but. That's still my top five around Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be those five, and to pick one is almost like it's unfair.
Like that. How about you?
My top five ended up being my top 10 because over the years, once I joined mixed martial art, I became so addicted to the movie. I would want to watch every single one. I know Bruce Lee was already on my Mount Rushmore. Polo Young was already on my Mount Rushmore. The other 8, it changed over time. One was consistent with Donnie Yen.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, I don't think anybody understands that guy. That guy was like not only a masterpiece, but he was an excellent fighter. I don't think people know how good he really is.
Who was it again?
And there was Donnie Yen.
Yeah,
Oh, he was a genius.
That's from the Ip Man series. Yeah,
He did an Ip Man series. He did Iron Monkey. He did Seven Sword. He did it's a lot he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, there was Jackie Chan. This guy was another crazy idiot. 10-year Northern style, 5-year Southern style. You got to go through. The only guy that Tom Cruise was trying to compete with, he cannot get near to this dude. This dude have a long medical list of how many bones he had broken doing his own stunt.
Mm-hmm.
From head all the way to toe.
Oh, like Jackie Chan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, ain't no actor will go that far trying to make sure the movie looks so good that he jeopardizes his own body. And yet, better put a cat and do computer graphics, making you know that it don't look like a cat.
Yeah.
Then, after that one, it started to like be a pure competition who to put on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start watching the old Kung Fu movie back of then back in 2000, started watching the whole list of Ip Man, the Grandmaster, Shaolin, Dragon Blade, Iron Fist, Wushu, the Medallion, the House of Flying Dagger, Kung Fu Hustle, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
Fist of Legend. I could name a lot.
Yeah. Fist of Legend is definitely in my top. A couple of them you named. Fist of Legend is definitely in my top 10. Drunken Master 2 is definitely in my top 10. You got to throw that in there. And there were a couple more that you would mention. Like I said, one of the Ip Man films, the one where he fought Mike Tyson, I got to put in there. I'm sorry. Ip Man 3, Mike Tyson in that. I'm sorry. That's like game over.
Not only he fought Mike Tyson, he fought Batista also.
Yeah.
In it. And
So
the scene.
It was very well done. I was. That's why I'm feeling bad for Jake Paul right now. So Jake Paul's gonna fight Mike, and if that fight is legit, I still think it might be a work
Oh,
But if
Johnny
that
has
fight's
no.
legit,
I think he did an interview and he said, Mike Tyson is no joke. He kind of like shocked that at his age,
Yeah.
the level of control and speed is astounding.
Well, you still see it now. I mean, you see, like, look, I know sparring is not anybody can look good on the bag. You know what I mean? But still, you can see like he's training for this fight with Jake Paul, and you can still see the head movement, the combinations. It's still there. It's like you just flash back.
You don't ever lose it, Paul.
30 years ago.
You don't ever lose it as a martial artist, because boxing is a martial art. You can argue all day long. I'm not saying you in general.
Yep.
So you when you start training as much as me and David have, and if I can get back into a dojo, I would. I just don't have the time right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if I don't have time to get into a dojo right now.
If I can leave New York City, New York State, go to a state where they actually have my own art that I practice, and they got a dojo for me to join, I will join this bad boy in a heartbeat, get my body back in check, and get my health back. Because I don't think people understand the martial art do something for your health.
Oh, it does a lot. It only your health. It doesn't mental health too.
I'll be honest with you. It's not like I'm cheating if I go and play soccer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm cheating if I play any kind of sport.
Yeah.
After taking it, because it's like a cheat code. I'm sorry. Anyone who get into martial art at a very young and continue to practice, whatever sport you get yourself into, you have an unfair advantage over everybody else.
Yeah.
Especially when you come to baseball. The way you throwing a ball to somebody, I feel sorry for you. When I got into soccer, I'm telling you, the stuff I was doing as a kid, I would catch myself by shock, like, I'm doing this. I remember one time I did a bicycle kick, and I landed on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how the?
So, Paul, let me give you here's a little advice. I'll give you back off of this. Sorry, I'm gonna give you my list next. Sure. Football. There's a reason why my coach wanted me defense. Because when I hit somebody, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm taking your fucking head off.
Right.
Like
right.
David, am I right or wrong? See his face? So my sensei, literally, when I told him I'm joining football, he goes, "You sure it's a good idea?" I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "I'm not worried about you, Peter. I'm worried about everybody else." He goes,
right.
He goes, "We're gonna modify some moves." I'm like, "Is that cheating?" I'm like, "Yeah, but they don't know that." I go, "When you go to hit them, you're gonna knock the fuck out of them every single time." Every person I hit got knocked out, pretty much. Every person I hit, his helmet got popped out. I remember carrying the quarterback. I mean, I hit the quarterback so hard, he thought he was sperming in. That's how hard I hit him.
Wow.
If I like, people don't ever believe me. Oh, you're a little guy, and you make me impression. I'm a little guy versus you.
Yeah.
So people don't ever believe me in this. But you can ask Black David this. Martial artists, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your size. It doesn't matter if it's technique. It's science. What goes up comes down. Simple.
Right.
That's
but
what it is.
let me ask you this though.
Go ahead,
I
go
don't want
ahead.
to get too far topic.
Yeah.
Two things, two questions. One, like David, you never considered football? Do you ever consider about playing American football?
Let me tell you why I stay away from it. For a guy like me,
He doesn't
who
want to get
went to
arrested.
high school back in my country, finished high school, came over here, and the body size I ended up getting from training in mixed martial art, I did not want to get into football because I don't want to be the person who sent people to the hospital.
Right.
That was one. I prefer soccer instead. At least I don't have to worry about it. But when I was playing soccer, the level of flexibility that I got and endurance made it even worse. So kind of like I couldn't barely get tired. I was enjoying it. I was pushing myself beyond my limit.
Right.
I tried.
But I'm saying
other
that
sports.
with all those attributes that you had, if you were playing football, you could do that kind of damage. That could have did a lot of things. I mean, you would have people looking because again, look, especially if you're a defensive lineman, defensive tackle or edge rusher, and you get the quarterback, you get free scholarship to college. You get like a full ride because football is a violent sport. At the end of the day,
maybe I should have taken it. Maybe I would have been in WWE or doing
or something. I'm just saying something.
So
that you could have
I'll give you a
really
little
that physical
more
aggression.
background on me, Paul. Like, and I had spoken to this probably before. When I was coming up, do you guys remember the show called The Fun of Fu?
The Fun of Food? No.
Yeah, it was an MTV show
Is
about
that it?
martial artists. It lasted one season. So there were a bunch of martial artists that did different competitions, and they get voted out to stay in the house. Pretty much, you had to fight your opponent in a real sparring match. So you had 4 teams, 4 houses. Virtually only the four winners will fight each other to get the final food, the master, pretty much. You win 10K, I believe you win, and they'll travel you to train with those martial arts. Great show. So I'm doing my thing in a competition. Like, the guy handed me a note, like, we'd like you on a show. Okay, I thought it was a prank the whole time. The next martial art tournament comes around, another note. I'm like, turn around. The third one comes around, I'm like, oh, dude, you gotta cut it out, man. Seriously, this is getting funny the first 2 times. The 3 times, getting a pain in my ass. My instructor comes like, Peter, do you know who that is? He goes, no, it's some clown. I go to him like, no, he's a grandmaster. Huh? And not only that, he's it was Master Chen Li. Master Lee goes to me. He goes, I'm also a director. I'm actually putting a show together. I'm like, hi. So we're talking. He goes, listen, keep it up. When you turn 18, we're gonna have a conversation. I want you on my show. I think you can take this professionally. You're like, really? Me? My way to last? That's like, yeah, you're actually pretty good. Like, well, I don't brag or anything. I'm like, it sounds a little like, me being cocky at a kid. So around that time, I blew my knee out. Everything went straight down. Not because I did something wrong. I got hit illegally to the knee. Blew my knee out completely. So that's the problem with, he and me could have gotten in WWE probably, or an NFL or something like that. He has more advantage than I do because soccer players have better kicks. So he can be a good, field goal or something, whatever. But before we get off topic too much, okay, here's one of the actors I like that most people don't know he's a martial artist, believe it or not. Michael J. White.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He is a great goddamn martial artist, but a lot of people don't know. And I'm actually disappointed he didn't get the fame as much as others did. He's known for some movies like Spawn, for example, but he never got the martial arts idol thing off him. Now, here's some movies you guys might, because look at me, I'm crazy. Dragon, number 1, is in my list. The other one is Never Back Down. Ninja Assassin. Where's the other word? I just had it right here. Warrior. Warrior actually, I liked it a lot. And like David, to be honest with you, Never Back Down, you remind me of an instructor.
Isn't that Netflix series?
Which one?
Or this, it's a movie.
Which one?
The Warrior.
Warriors is a movie that 2 brothers were in the UFC actually for each other. And,
okay.
And he ended up breaking the younger brother's arm. That's the gist of it. I don't want to get too deep. No spoilers, obviously. Those are my top martial art movies. Now, if you can add some other ones, but they're a lot more kiddier movies, like The Warriors of Virtue. That's a great movie, but it's not really a martial art movie. It's a kiddie movie. There are a lot out there.
Making noise.
I'm sorry?
Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're good. I thought you were talking to me for a second. So there are a bunch of them. Like the first of Legends, Jet Li's great. But Jet Li is a good martial, but he's a Hollywood martial artist. There's this called Hollywood Kung Fu, when they hook you up with the wires and have you flying in the air and all that stuff.
But that's the classical again Asian martial arts films.
Yes,
like the Wild Work,
yeah,
the Shaw Brothers stuff, and again, so it's almost like it's not a. It's almost. I'm not saying it's not a practical form of fighting, but it's just like I said. You watch it for the spectacle more so to say, okay, this is a way I can defend myself.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming with that. Now, the other movie that you guys are going to look at me like I'm crazy, because everybody have said that to me, that I think was a decent reboot. Not the greatest, decent. But I liked it because they had technical techniques in real martial arts. Jackie Chan. And of course, I'm glad to bring up the Karate Kid reboot. People didn't like, Will Smith's kid is...
No, I liked it. No, that's a good one. I liked how they... made that. I didn't have an issue with it. I wouldn't be about top 10, but I still think it was a very good film. So I wouldn't. I don't fault you for that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best movie, but it's on my top of my list. This is everybody's list is a little different. there are a lot of good martial art movies, but how do you pick them out? That is a question. It's personal preference. In the day, I'll come down to it
for sure.
And it goes right into my next question. How do you set apart of martial art movies, a good martial art movie versus an average martial art movie? And that is the question of the day. How can you set them apart?
It's not that simple, I'll be honest with you, because before we had Netflix, the other thing, I was looking around. It used to be a place in Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, that on the best kung fu movie ever, which is mostly imported.
Yeah.
Before it had to, you're not gonna believe this. A lot of these martial arts that you saw in the movie theater was already out years ahead. Before it came in movie theater, because normally anyway we knew that place in Chinatown, we were finding all these movies in advance. We were watching it already on DVD before they decided to broadcast it in the theater. We were like, oh, we would have seen that already. What do you mean? And we got telling people everything what happened in the movie. Like, how you see? I'm like, dude, you have no. China, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand. The way they be producing movies, it's a lot. But there's a lot of movies that you never heard of. You had to go to a particular website. There's a website, I'm not going to lie. It's like a torrent website back then, and I messed up my account back then. When I had Yahoo, now I have Gmail. It's called a Vista Z. That way they have all the type of kung fu movie, mixed martial art movie that you're looking for. You will find, but it's not only by invite. You can't even get in. Someone got to invite you in. So they're like, damn. So what I did, I had to say the Best Buy, go to all the DVD store, try to look what I'm looking for, and I buy these DVDs. I was collecting them. So I got a nice collection of all the DVD movies, which I end up watching them over 100 times to the point where I almost know the entire script. But these movies are classic. So it's not that simple, because when you want to look at movies, you got to look at what year zone. Looking for the 80s, the Shimshaw production had a lot of great masterpieces. We got to enter the 90s, the 2000s. It's very skeptical. You have to figure out who does it better. Any movie that Jackie Chan did was considered to be a masterpiece right off the back. Donnie Yen with another one. Lucy Liu with another one. Now Michael J. White, all people don't know this, but he did a lot of kung fu movies overseas. People didn't know he was that good.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff was almost like straight to video or whatever. Like I'll be watching clips of him. It's like I never saw. I mean, a lot of his stuff didn't even make theoretical release, or at least not from the martial arts. He did Spawn. He made a release over there. I was saying he did Spawn. He didn't make a release over here. Yeah. Yeah, he only had a couple of U.S. releases. Spawn was one. He was in Universal Soldier. He was in the Dark Knight series. You know, the Dark Knight.
He only did one movie in Dark Knight.
Yeah. So he made appearances, but as far as his star power, and I think he was in also one of the Universal Soldier movies.
He had a huge star power outside the U.S.
Yeah.
If you go to Japan or China, no. This guy practiced kung fu.
Oh yeah, he's been studying since he was like 10, 12 years old, whatever. I mean, he's
so I'm looking at his movie list right now. He has some good here. There's one movie I didn't know he was in. He's actually in Universal Soldier, the 1999 one. I didn't know he was in that one.
John Van Damme looked like the guy with no joke.
So look at his list. Blood and Bones, Never Back Down. That was a Netflix movie. Never Back Down 2. I was surprised he's in twice of them. The Last Man, Spawn, Black Dynasty, Falcon Rising. Why did you get married? It has to be a comedy. The Island, The Hard Way, the SWAT Under Siege. I believe that's a show, I'm not mistaken. As Good as Dead. That's only half the stuff there. So he did a good amount of stuff here. Not much, but he did some.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he also competed in real full on fight
Right.
When he did a movie, Universal Soldier with Jean-Claude Van Damme, he said he did that. He realized Jean-Claude Van Damme is no fake. He's legitimately real. People don't know how good he's really. People think, oh, he's just fake. He said no. He said he's proud with the brother. Even Jean-Claude Van Damme was surprised Michael J. White was that good. He started looking back and he was like, oh, yeah, real recognize Will. So that's why when they did that movie with Steven Seagal, then I see the interview of DJ Black. He said everybody was waiting for him to do what? Break him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, he didn't know. He was like being naive. Then he didn't realize the director was in it, the producing staff were in it, the actors were in it, and he tried to catch on. Like hold up,
Right.
I was brought here on this movie scene just to hurt this guy.
All right, you're spawning a good question. I have a follow-up, but I want to answer Grooming's question first. Your question is like, how do you determine what's a good martial arts movie and what's not? I think that was your question. All right, so like I think I explained it earlier. One, the fight scene, especially the last fight scene, having it go on too long or having it too one-sided. I think that's an issue with me. Obviously, the story, what you're trying to get to in it, but really, and if the fight scenes go on too long, as if it's like it's choreographed. Like I said, the guys aren't trying to beat each other. It's just a choreographed dance for as long as possible until someone makes a move. I think that is something that can certainly weigh a movie down, but really it's the matchups. Like you had like Ip Man, I think it might have been 3 or 4, where you had the American guy. He was actually an Asian guy, but it was this. I think he was like this army sergeant guy. Prater came in, and he beat all of the kung fu masters, like clearly. Then Ip Man comes on the scene, and he kind of wipes the floor with him. I'm like, wait a minute. So my thing is, imagine if I'm a student. So like, this was like at a martial arts tournament or whatever, and all these students by these masters and whatnot, they're all there, and they see each one of their kung fu masters get beaten soundly by this American fighter, and then Ip Man comes on the scene and wipes the floor with him. The first question I might be asking myself is, why am I training with you? You know what I'm saying?
Here's the problem. Ip Man wasn't. He didn't just wipe the floor. He was fighting the guy, and he understood the guy fighting pattern. Because think about Ip Man. Ip Man was practicing with Sugar Curd. I remember from watching the first one, second, third, and fourth. It's always this thing that people always knew and were being taught. When you practice mixed martial art, you can't be too prideful of yourself because there's always someone who could be better than you. Mm-hmm. That's one of the key factors we were taught in mixed martial art. You have to come from a humble mindset.
Right.
I forgot what other movie was that about Jet Li was fighting someone who was in karate. Mm-hmm. I think it was Fatal Legend. And this guy was good. Imagine they were fighting, and he said, no, let's make it real good. They blindfold themselves. Yeah. And I watched that scene, I was like, Jet Li was like, wait a minute, how you got so good? Who said there's no one art better than it. It's all based on the practitioner.
Right.
Bingo.
It's all about adapting.
Yeah.
The problem with mixed martial art, in China, even though they was a movie, but it was a known thing. People competed among themselves to find out which school was the best school.
Right.
And what I noticed, a lot of these, it is, I'm sure it's documented, a lot of these kung fu masters, a lot of these people who had this school, they were too prideful of themselves. There was one movie, I forgot the name of this actor. He did a movie, it was one of them, it was like a TV series kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he did similar what Ip Man was doing, but he wasn't showboating. He was like, no, I don't think I'm better than you. I'm trying to remember what movie the guy acted in. Rise of Legend. He acted in Rise of Legend, I believe. He acted in another movie. And what he did, he fought every master to understand that the one in particular master he fought, he couldn't recognize the style because he grew up under his father. So he had to watch and observe and learn and think. And he got to understand. I'm like, yo. And I can see why they say when you study martial art, study with a humble heart because you will always learn something new along the way. You gotta learn how to adapt. The problem with martial art doesn't matter if you're doing kung fu, you're doing karate, you're doing Thai boxing, you have to come from a humble. When you are humble, you're very sure you're able to adapt.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. So when he did that movie with Fifth Legend, and for that karate guy, then he tried to adapt boxing into his repertoire. It's like when the thing about martial artists, if they have that same mindset, it's easy for them to adapt and learn any other style. Some people were learning they are mixed martial artists. At a very young age, they found they could either kung fu or karate as a kid. As time progressed, they learn a different style, added to a reservoir, then learn a different one, then learn a different. Before you know it, you don't know what kind of style it is unless you can understand the foundation they learned from, and that made it very, very dangerous. So it's all about adapting. This is why you see some movies. There's a lot of great kung fu movies out there, mixed martial art movies. But I would say look for the one that based with the actor either from China, Japan, Thailand, or Singapore. Because the one that made here, I had a disdain for it. Like Kill Bill, I was not feeling it. I'm sorry, I was not feeling it.
Oh, you on the phone?
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not on the phone. I was not feeling it. What other movie that I was really pissed off? Oh yeah, The Matrix. Now they were the part 2 or part 3. They had one guy look like Jet Li.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I'm
I read
an
an article about Jet Li didn't want to be in it because I think from some reason he had an internal itch. He didn't want to mention it. But he said he had someone good at to be in the movie. Now Keanu Reeves, I tell you, the guy has respect for the martial art community.
Yeah.
He has so much respect that he had to start taking classes. He got to understand the reason why true martial artists have an issue when people water down in American movies. A lot of American movies don't know how to do it properly.
Now, speaking of Keanu Reeves, now where would you put the John Wick series? So again,
I knew it was going to come off of my mouth.
I did go back and I watched all the John Wick movies up to this point. So
I watched them more.
Would you consider that as much a martial arts film as an action film? Or whatever? They're using several styles. He's using Krav Maga. He's using judo. He's using everything in there. So
let me be honest. I would consider it first at the action movies, second at the martial artists. When I say first action movie, Keanu Reeves ain't trying to water it down like many other actors have done. They do have respect for it. So it's more of an action. But if you have a good eye, you can pick up the style that he utilized.
Yeah.
You can understand and you can have the respect for it because and we've understood that there are people who are actors, but before they were actors, they went to these schools as a young kid, and that was their life. This is why I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I think America is the weakest country on the planet because when you have countries like China, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, North Korea, Russia that have their young kids practice some kind of art form of fighting, growing upwards to the turn of adult. It comes nature to them. Some don't take it seriously. Some don't say, "Oh well, I use what I learned to make my life easy." Or they use it for sport, or they use it for movies. A lot of them are stunt doubles, and they make a good money. Some got into UFC. Lachota Machida, another guy, he did karate. He's from Brazil. He did karate perfectly while he's doing UFC. But somehow he was adapting, but he didn't become more flexible. He got caught. But he did well for a short period of time before he got out.
Right.
Now, the best promotion for MMA right now is not UFC. It's actually one championship. Look at that promotion, one championship.
One championship? Okay.
Yes. The person who run that promotion is actually a true martial artist.
It goes back to what we were talking about on the gray area, if you remember, Paul. back in the day, you had to had a degree in a martial art to fight in a UFC fight, MMA for better terms. So what happened to that? Now you're a ground pounder. You can say, I can do it. And like, even if you're a boxer, okay, you're a boxer. Where's your credentials? Okay, I fought this. I got golden gloves. Whatever the case. Okay, you're a real martial artist. You can enter the tournament. Now, let's say yourself, Paul. I'm using you as an example, of course. What's your credential? Oh, don't need it. These are my credentials. Yeah, they're going to wipe you clean. Because in the World Martial Art Tournament that I competed in, it's a keyword World Martial Art Tournament. I mean, any kind of martial art can enter this. It doesn't matter if you're Brazilian, Kung Fu, Judo. Let's see which martial art is the best. Every year somebody else is going to win. It's not going to be every year the same person. I got 3 years in a row out of it. Yeah, 3 years out of a row out of it because I was a young kid that I broke my arm several times. I wouldn't care about how much pain. I wanted that big shiny trophy coming home with me. That's all I cared about. But going back to the original facts, is a martial art movie. A martial artist is going past the pain. It's going past all that stuff. UFC is disgusting me. I could credit Dana White what he's due because he took an opportunity and he turned it and made it into a $1 billion operation right now.
Sure.
Because he's a promoter. He's not a fighter. Let's keep that in mind. He's not a fighter. I think he trained in martial arts at some point in his life. I'm not sure about that. Black David, do you know anything about that?
Going to me?
Yeah, I said Black David. I mean, Black David, I have on my panel. Do you know Dana White is a martial artist or no?
No, he's not a martial artist. Joe Rogan's a martial artist.
Okay, good. So I was right about that. Yeah.
Because you have a park, everything, but if people at all the other MMA fighters who know Joe Rogan, they tell like, yo, Joe Rogan no pushover. He would actually hurt you. The fact that he's not partaking in it, it's a question mark why he's not doing it. Dana White's not a martial artist. He saw the market value of UFC, but the old UFC back then, was real martial art were beating up. There was no weight class.
You're correct.
That
is like the closest thing to Bloodsport, like the movie Bloodsport.
Yes.
I mean, there was you had.
I remember
150 pound.
I remember Kimbo's flight got tapped out by Roy Gracie. And Roy Gracie is more of a flyweight individual tapping out a heavyweight individual.
Right.
Dude, that is not normal.
Yeah.
But that was real UFC. A lot of states in the U.S. were trying to ban it. And the original owner of that promotion had no choice but to sell it to Dana White. What Dana White did figure out a way to make it work. So he created these weight classes. Mind you, while Dana White trying to fix UFC, Pride FC had an issue because that was controlled by the mafia. But which mafia we going to talk about? Didn't know. Oh, it was controlled, but you cannot say who it controlled. It's none of your goddamn business. You can put it like that. But either way, it was controlled or not, a lot of great fighters had there was like, wow. So there's other small promotion, but most of the promotion was based on the particular aspect. It was kickboxing, it was Thai boxing, it was kung fu. There was more, but it wasn't getting the traction that they were getting on a global scale. So when Pride FC went down, UFC took over, and there was WEC that came with the competition. WEC got bought out by the parent company of UFC. They continued to go on. They took almost the whole locker room of fighters that had there and incorporated them into their own. Some stayed, some left. They started having other small promotions. The problem with mixed martial art, even though they call it MMA, it's mixed martial art. I mean, people thinking they jump in. It's not so simple because a lot of true mixed martial artists did not want to get in because certain art that they do practice is not meant for sports.
Right.
Because I be even Montgomery Review understanding that as well. If I was trying to, mind you, I was trying to get into UFC when I came back to this country, but somehow I missed it. But I had to try out. And I think it was best for me not to. Because when you're a true practitioner and you learn how to adapt, your level of conditioning is not the same like everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Your body pain goes to the next level, Paul. Yeah, you never think you were able to. Like the whole growing thing, that would be another day. Like, oh, whatever. It's just like for my growing, it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we were conditioned to take pain over a long period of time. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I have people who try to kick me in the groin, and I shook it up less than 2 seconds. And when I did, I was fearing for myself because I gave one person a deadly roundhouse kick that came out of nowhere, and all you hear was whoosh, and the sound that came out of it. Let me put it this: I'm in high school, and my senior was afraid of me. Yeah. Stuff I was training myself. When you're in martial art, you're training yourself, holding yourself to be the ultimate weapon. You're so sucked into it. It's like a crazy addiction.
It is addiction. The really thing about it, because you're craving the knowledge. You're craving how hard your kicks can be, how hard your puncher. You want to crave that dojo. For a kid going up to me, the first thing we're looking at is our belt ranking. I want the black belt. I want it so bad.
So we're going into we keep floating in the gravitational pull is still bringing us into the martial arts discussion.
I'm sorry.
We're trying to keep it on the movies.
I know the movie. Like I say,
that's next week's episode.
Let me ask this. All right, let me ask this follow up then. All right.
Okay.
Now, and part of it's what you guys were talking about. Now, again, there's guys who are what we call legit, right? Now, as far as martial arts cinema, there's a lot of people who participate. So again, a lot of those guys from the Asian martial arts, from the China martial arts, a lot of those guys really weren't martial artists. They were acrobats. So they were in the Chinese operas. And what Jackie Chan, he was a Chinese opera guy. Jet Li was a wushu guy. He did the wushu competitions and whatnot and won. And, it's great for the acrobatics. But these guys, you can look at them and say, well, are they really practitioners of the martial arts? And then you've had guys whose martial arts has been questioned over the years. For example, Steven Seagal. Now, I've seen all those Aikido demonstrations where he's flipping guys, 20 guys coming at him, he's flipping them left and right and twisting and all that kind of stuff or whatnot. Again, I'm looking for my eyes. I can't say it's legit or not, or is it the fact that if you don't flip when he flips you, your wrist is getting broken? So I don't know what's going on with that. Look, I'm the non-martial artist here. So again, you guys don't. I'm just asking.
So first of all, I'm going to ask the host
of the movies, right?
Some
of these guys, who is legit because you guys have a more discerning eye than I do when it comes to the action. Like I said, the Shaw Brothers stuff, very high wire, very kind of dancing kind of.
Dave, you want to go first?
Who's legit
I got Weezy here.
Who is not legit? And what do you guys think of Steven Seagal? Is he legit? And did that come across in his martial arts film? So y'all can take that.
Let me speak on it. On these Shaw Redemption movies, a lot of the people who was in this movie, yes, they have a kung fu school and they have an acrobat school. It's funny about the acrobat schools. The students came from the kung fu school as well, so they know how to fluently do these type of somersault and stuff for them for. A lot of them, like I said, either took it further, either become a stunt double, they be on the movies. There was a TV series that showed that a lot of these students who went to the kung fu school trying to audition to be a stunt double for the huge China movie production industry. And you have to know what you're doing. You don't know how to do it properly and how to sell it up properly. Even though you went to this school, you don't get in. So you can imagine that goes on as well. That is China alone. It's no different in Japan. Japan, similarly, not a lot of them were forced to go to school based on their family. Some did not have to go.
Yeah, they're literally I hear these stories. Some of these kids are almost sold to the opera school or whatever. It's like you don't have money. You can't. These kids are dirt poor. They're sold at a young age to these opera houses. They've been performing since age 4 or whatever, and they grow up in these places, and that's all they know. That's like all the family. They don't even see their families anymore. So it's kind of it's kind of like a sweatshop. It was kind of like it's kind of sad when you look at the the stories of some of these people, because I was watching a documentary on the Shaw Brothers, not on the Shaw Brothers, on the Venom clan. Like all those guys came through the Chinese opera for the most part, with the exception of the guy who did the kicking. Because I think he was like Korean, so he wasn't even Chinese.
And like I said, it's like an industry. It's like when you say it's like a sweatshop.
But it's like child. Like there's no child labor law. It's like literally like a child sweatshop. The way they used to foster and get these kids through that.
And
but
to say it's no child labor law, it kind of like backward, because this have been going on for the age of before modern society. Because if you come up for a poor family, you find work either in the theater, you find work in the military, you find work working for the kung fu school, or you find work doing any other thing that you can learn your skill craft. Like I said,
sure,
China makes sure they have kung fu schools to keep everybody in check. Now, from the kung fu school, you branch out either to the acrobat school, you branch out to the theater industry, you branch out into the military. Wherever you branch out into, you branch out, but you have a foundation. Because if you think about it, the kung fu school gave these people room to utilize their skill they built over time to find what lane will work best for them.
But you still consider those guys. But you still consider those guys martial artists, not just guys who just went, into.
Think about this. You have to live in China to understand when you start to realize, wait a minute, anyone can whoop your behind.
So I'll put it this way. There's a better way I can explain it. So the martial arts we learn in America is not the same thing that you learn over there. Because I can walk into a Okinawa, great example, because I want to go there. I want to train with the masters. They're going to probably laugh at me first. Because what I know and what they know is two different things.
Right.
There was remember the show called Lethal Weapon on History Channel, any chance?
Yeah.
When they went over there, and you taking a baseball bat, going to the shins or their elbows or stomach, and it will break off. That happens on a daily basis. That's breakfast for them, an appetizer.
Right.
For me, that is the whole day workout. Like David, that's probably, well, I'm not even go there. That's too easy to make a joke of there. But anyway, my point is trying to get there. The martial artist there is completely on the next level, to the point you can blow your fucking mind. And like you think that they're literally on some kind of fucking hashish, almost some kind of type of drug. Like I want some of that shit. Right. It makes me that powerful. I'm like, it's not a drug. The technique it's gone. It's like they have even secret techniques that we don't even know yet. We have it because we're Westerners to them. The Westerners are not supposed to know them.
So to get to the question, so for what I'm hearing from you guys, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Shaw Brothers guys, all those. So you look at those guys; those are legit martial artists. So you would nod yes, legit martial artists and practitioners of martial arts, not just acrobats or whatever. Right?
That is correct.
What about now, Steven Seagal? Let's go.
You want to go first, or should I go first?
Arguably the most controversial martial artist out there in terms of the stories.
Okay, so let's break this down for a second. Let's break this down first.
Who wants to take them?
The style. Is it a real style? Yes, it is a real style. We cannot take that away from you.
Real.
Yeah, can we both agree with that, Black David?
Yeah, it's a real style.
So, as an actor, he's an idiot. That's how I'm going to put it. Yeah. I cannot take away his martial artist. He's a great martial artist. I've seen him fight in real life. Not in real life, I'm sorry, in documentaries. I apologize. I've seen him, train. Again, good guy. Martial art. But as a person, he's a scumbag. Because the reason he's a scumbag, he got himself involved with a mob. And that's how he got to the movies. I literally pulled up my beginning statement on my show tonight about Stephen Kozol and oh god, what's his name? He played in fuck, give me a second to look it up again, his name. I keep forgetting his goddamn name today. He played in a movie in Street Fighter. In Bloodsport, what's his name? Help me out, Paul.
What, the main guy in Bloodsport?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Crawford.
Yeah. Okay, John Crawford challenged him to a fight. And he said, I'll pay you, I don't know how much money was it, 10K or something like that, to fight. The winner. That's why he didn't care about the money as much. He cared about proving the right. I'm a better martial artist than you. He backed off. So if you're a martial artist, Black David, let me ask you a question. Let's say we have beef, for example, right? I go, you know what? Let's finish this on the mat. Once and for all, whoever wins has bragging rights. Would you back down on a fight if you're a real martial artist?
No.
Thank you. A real martial artist will never back down on a fight. I'll laugh at you first.
It's not always saying no. It's kind of like a pride thing. You're not fighting.
It is. So here's
to honor the style you're in. So you're not going to back up from a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going there to brag. You want to test yourself, see how far have you reached. But like I said, him as a actor and everything, he's a scumbag. But I try to.
I'm not going into the act. Like I said, I'm
talking about movie wise. I don't find any other movie outside the U.S. have he done with real martial artists, and I couldn't find any.
Right.
That was questionable because I'm like, hold up, every martial art actors always look to collaboration. Tell me if I'm wrong, Montgomery with you, because
you're not.
You will comb through a library of kung fu movie. You had Tony Jaa from that guy is.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yo, he collaborated with other martial art actors from different style for different countries. He did one also with Michael J. Wright. That's another one. Donnie Yen. You looking for a martial artist who love to do collaboration. There's one I love was The Forbidden Kingdom, because everybody can compare who is better between Jet Li or Jackie Chan. Right. That movie was so comical. I had to laugh because the protagonist of that movie were getting clowned on heavy. Literally, clowned. Right. We would tell you about that movie. That movie is so sad. It's like if you're a martial artist, you understand the inside joke, what's going on. How two martial artists with different style are watching this guy. No, let me do it. They were bullying this guy in the movie. It was downright bullying, downright shaming him. Let him go into the, how you call it? You know how you go to the fraternity club and you're going to the raisins? They go through. In martial art, even in the movie, the way they do you, they make you look like, okay, you a punk. You go break you through before you join our club. So it was a funny movie, but I liked it though.
Mm-hmm.
These actors who know themselves, they know who they are. They all look for the right script to do collaboration. There's one time there was I forgot what movie was it. They said there was too many big names in that movie. And the movie lasted for over 2 hours plus. It was a good movie. It was ridiculous. The Seventh Sword. And then another great movie. Funny thing about the movie, there was a movie and there was a series. The series had a lot of big name martial artists who were well known in their country in that series. It was no joke. It was a great choreography with great stunt. Everything was. You will love it. You can watch it over and over. Like, you want to pick which one's your best scene, and it's kind of hard to do that. That's why I'm saying when you're watching movies after martial arts, you want to see the fight scene, if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you call it out.
Here's the thing, I'm going to add a little to it. You also want to see the technique he throws in there. You want to make sure when it comes to the shuto, you want to snap into it. You want the elbows. You want the back fists. You want the roundhouses. You want the spinning roundhouse. I have not seen a spinning back fist or spinning hook kick in I don't know how long. Man, freaking like, come on, give me something to jerk off at least to. And like, it's nothing there.
Only you, Gordon, can take it there.
The movie he said that, I'm sorry, it's funny. I'll give another great movie. Tai Chi Zero, Tai Chi Hero. It's a sequel to that thing. I'm sorry. There's so much great martial arts movie. If you want to take the time and make a long list of movies for people to look up and start to watch, I'm hoping that Netflix create a section only in their system, only for kung fu movies to stay right there. And imagine the amount of subscribers will jump on that just to watch it back to back. Yo, the kind of kung fu movie out there, it's a huge library. Like Once Upon a Time in China, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Tai Chi Zero, Tai Chi Hero. The New Legend of yo, there's so many great masterpiece of movie that I don't have to go to the movie theater. I want to sit down and watch everything one from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s and to present time. And I bet you, I will not miss the movie theaters.
Right. All right. So let me ask this, and actually, I need to go in the next few minutes. So
We're wrapping up in like 5 minutes, Paul. So you know.
okay. All right. So we talk about eras, right? So I think in the 70s, it was like the Bruce Lee. I think certainly exploded in the early 70s up to 73. Then you had the birth of the Kung Fu cinema era with like the Shaw Brothers and that era. Then you had in the 80s, and just looking at your title slide, Grooming, you had the ninja craze of the 80s. So shout out to Cho Kasuki and all those ninja movies in the 80s. Then you had, I guess, the second wave of like the Kung Fu, the Jackie Chans and the Jet Lis in the 90s. And then since the 2000s, you mentioned the guy earlier, I forget his name. What was the guy you mentioned earlier who's really, really good? Jimmy something? Oh, jeez. You just mentioned his name. I forget. Benny something. Benny. Oh, jeez.
Okay. Let me see how I help you. There's Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, Michael J. Rice, Sammo Hung, another great one. Michelle Yeoh, Gordon Liu, Yu Yen, Tony Jaa, John Clavel.
Tony Jaa, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Tony Jaa. Yeah.
Tony Jaa.
Yeah, him and that came out in 2000s, and now you've had like in the second half of the 2010s and 20s, you've had certainly Donnie Yen has certainly established himself as a martial arts.
Don't forget Mark Dacascos. He also had a boom in the American industry come to martial arts. He's real good.
And then you've also had, now who's the guy who, I don't think he's American, but he's been in a lot, he was in one of the Ip Man, it might have been Ip Man 4, he was like the final guy he beat in Ip Man 4, but he's known for his martial arts and also his acrobatics. What's his name?
Ip Man 4?
Yeah, the last guy he fought, I think in Ip Man 4, he was like the general or the sergeant or whatever that he beat at the end. But he's also done a lot of martial arts.
His name is Scott Atkins.
Scott Atkins, yeah. He's been in a lot of... He's very good also. He is very good as well. But you have these eras. So let's compare... Yes, because we didn't talk about like, for example, the ninja, the 80s, which was, again, they had American Ninja. They had Into the Ninja movies. You had all...
Ninja movie, Don Wilson. That one also did a lot of ninja movies. I remember his face. Yeah. Who else? I'm going to right now, and I'm trying to pull them out. I'm like, yo.
But I think the ninja era to me is a little bit special in that I that might have been like one of the first times like like people the look, right?
Hold on. There's another guy. His name is Hiroki Sanada. He did a lot of good ninja movie, but he looked different when he was younger than he was older.
But I'm saying I just remember the ninja movies for the look, right? The uniform, like Halloween, like guys would get like a real ninja uniforms with the shoes and the masks and the whatever. You go to school, they had like the coolest look. In the 70s, you had like the traditional kung fu uniform, right? That was something. You had your karate gis, which you typically wouldn't wear outside the dojo, but you had the traditional Chinese clothing that you would have with the buttons in the front or whatever. Bruce Lee takes his jacket off and all that kind of stuff. In the 80s with that ninja stuff, and then you had the swords, the katana swords and whatnot. You had the double swords in the back, whatever. You just looked freaky.
Double sword? You mean triple sword? They had the
I know. I'm just saying the two that were in the back.
Do you know?
So that I remember, and just everything. The shurikens. One of my favorite video games of all time is Shinobi. From 1987. So the shurikens that you would use, the magic, you drop the bomb, and the smoke would come up and you would disappear. It was such a different. It was like martial arts plus the mysticism plus the magic and everything. So that was just an era that I think a lot of kids in it, like I grew up essentially in the 80s. So for us, that was like the coolest era. I think they might have oversaturated it with too many ninja movies during that time. Like I said, I love the Tokusuki.
It wasn't too many. It wasn't too many. It's just there wasn't enough.
You don't think it was enough? Oh wow! It was like there was like a ninja movie like every year, a couple times a year. Plus there was actually an American Ninja series. Now this is like a on ABC.
I remember American
Ninja series.
American Ninja 3, Ninja 4.
No, a TV series. No, there was an American Ninja TV series. It was on ABC. It barely lasted a season. It's very
American Ninja.
I don't think it's on DVD. But if you look up American Ninja, ABC, it might have been 1981, 1982. In there, they had, I think, that guy Mao. Remember that actor Mao? He was in Conan the Barbarian or not? I think he was in it. But they had a couple of American Ninja spin-offs, like from 81 to 84, that made American TV series. They didn't last, but that was how hot the ninja craze was. They felt we need to have like a weekly ninja series where essentially the ninja took on like weekly missions. Like there was like this government guy who had these mission assignments, and he would give it to the ninja guy, and he would go. And the guy was an American. He was like an American ninja. He was
called the Master.
Japanese family. What's that?
It was called the Master. I just looked it up.
Yeah. So I mean, so you had these series out also, but talk about that era if you can, because I thought that was a great era for just martial arts cinema, but that had like a special place because everybody was doing either kung fu or some action stuff, but the ninja craze of the early to mid 80s was just yeah.
I'll say the ninja craze in the early 80s and 90s was an introduction that there was more than one type of mixed martial arts style out there. The American Ninja movie series did it justice to a degree.
Right.
And there's other movie ninja that came out. I forgot what movie was this one? There's a Japanese guy, he did a ninja movie. Whereby he married to an American woman. I forgot what it was. And I think I had the DVD. It was a iconic movie. But the ninja series, the ninja movie cinema came back later on again with vengeance in the 2000s because anyone who was a practitioner in that thing, who saw the production, they felt like need to come back and do justice. The only movie that did it too much of justice was Ninja Assassins. That was, I don't think anybody could stomach it.
But the movie Ninja Assassin you're talking about?
Yes.
I thought it was a great movie, bro.
It was not only was it a great movie, I was in this theater when I watched it.
Me too.
I was watching everybody's reaction. You could tell everybody was like, like,
but here's my issue with that movie. The only one twerk I have, it did not get the justice it deserved. Because people, because the only bad thing, if you want to call anything bad, the blood looked pretty fake. I'm not gonna lie about that. But
it was,
except that all the weapons were accurate to a T. The way the train was a T. Everything about a ninja was to the T. Even how there were the hand singles things. I keep forgetting the name of the American version of it. Everything was down to the T. They did their research really well. Props to them.
The fact that how he started off the thing, you don't mention their name, that kind of thing. It gave you that the boogeyman feeling, like you don't talk about these people.
Well, in your case, you just look in the mirror.
The guy said he was lucky because he was born special. They stabbed him where his heart was supposed to be because of his genetic. It was not on the side where it was on the other side. So imagine the Yakuza who know nothing about it and they're like entitled because they're based on social media and the way they were getting sliced up. I was watching all the girls in the movie theater, and you can almost tell some of them wet themselves. But the fact that the level of goriness came out of that movie, I was like, yes! Now y'all can shut up.
I'll be honest with you, bro. Like I to this day, and anybody who says, "Oh, I want to watch a martial art movie," I want to see your I'm going to Ninja Assassin every single time. Like people are going, like, "Are you serious? You want to watch this?" So, like, just watch it and then talk to me. And after watch, like, holy shit, that was good.
Don't tell me. No, don't. No, I'm sorry. If you're a young guy, if you're watching this, and there's a girl that you like, and she pissed you off, recommend this movie.
You're an asshole.
Yeah. I got one more question to close us out tonight. You asked Grooming earlier about what what bad martial art movie is or what makes a bad one. I gotta say this. This is annoying to me. Now I love the Batman, especially the Nolan series, but I have not seen a Batman film or TV show going back to the 1966 Batman TV show or whatever that showed Batman fighting in a way that impressed you. He's supposed to be a master. Him, arguably in the comic book arenas, Captain America is supposed to be amongst the top 2 or 3 fighters in the Marvel universe. Batman, he supposedly studied every martial art. He's a master of 127 different martial art styles. I've seen the Nolan movies. I've seen the Batman. Again, good movies in and of themselves. But if I had a peeve about the films, especially after watching Batman Begins, you see him. He was part of the League of Shadows. He's a ninja. So he's supposed to have all this fighting skill, but it never transferred into the movies. Like what Captain America does. Like Captain America, he not only, and I know he's got the super soldier formula, but he's still a human being. He's got the acrobatics. He looks like they made him like he can fight. But Batman, it's still a lot of punches, barely kicked anybody. I mean, the Batman 89, which is my favorite Batman, by the way. I mean, out of all the movies, Batman 1989 is still my favorite. Michael Keaton, still, he threw a side kick. That's the only martial arts that he ever showed. He threw a side kick.
So let me take this for a second, Paul.
That's it. But you're supposed to be this bad.
I hate to say this.
Martial artist.
The only way you can find a good martial art scene on Batman is on an animated type of version.
Right.
You not find it on a live action because for some apparent reason, whoever want to do Batman don't have a background in martial art at all. And the way they do the fight scene, they had a stunt double. It doesn't feel good at all. It does not.
Yeah, but that's been annoying. Like Batman should almost be like a martial arts series. As much as he is a crime fighter,
You're right. 100%,
and all that. His martial art should be at first run because he's able to beat guys who are more powerful than he is. He's an excellent hand-to-hand combat. Very few people, certainly in the DC universe, can beat him. And yet, you don't see that on the film. I've never seen again, Christian Bale as an actor, he's great. You know, he throws himself into it. But the fight scenes, he's just throwing punches, and guys, when he fights Bane, all he's doing is just throwing punches at like he's not using any technique. There's no technique whatsoever.
It falls out to the choreography director because here's the thing that you need to know when it comes to this type of movie. Whoever is the fighting choreographer, when you want to incorporate mixed martial art with, they don't have a good vision on how to execute it compared to the Asian market. The Asian market, when it comes to choreography, either be a movie, either a TV series or short mini series, they do not sell it short because it's all about creating a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I know a lot of people say Christian did well. He did well, but still not enough because I hate to say this. The animated version of Batman now do better than the movie.
Well, of course, and you lose the realism also when you're watching an animation. I'm just saying, why can't you make a truly martial art Batman where you're impressed? Like everybody's just going around, he's punching this guy. It's like I said, it's not that much different. Like if you watch the Batman TV series from 1966, the Holy Cow Batman, and all that kind of stuff, and all that hokey, campy stuff.
So, Paul, let me jump in here for a second.
Fight scenes in those is not much different than we've seen almost 50 years later.
That's based on movie production. American movie production don't have that vision how to make it better.
Yeah,
that's what it is. This is why I've been watching. If I want to watch a good fight scene, I hate to say it, it's not going to be an American movie right off the bat. It's never going to be.
Yeah.
So
I think they tried to do
hang on.
with the Batman v Superman, like the fight scene with Batman with when he was saving Martha and he was in the building, he had to take those guys out. It was kind of good. They made him, but it wasn't like Marshall. They made him like invincible. Like he was like super strong. Like they made him like
which movie is this?
He had superhuman strength or something like that.
Which one?
But that was the closest thing probably to like a decent fight scene that I've seen in the Batman was him saving Martha from the that building and whatnot. That's about it. But I haven't seen anything to let you know that Batman can really go in there and
so I had a conversation. I literally had this conversation a few months back with CQ from Pop Culture Warrior, and me and him had this conversation when like he hasn't seen a good Batman. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like, and Christopher Bell's, my personal opinion, is the best Batman. Personal opinion, of course. Yeah. He thinks the new Batman is the best because his arguments say you have Batmans and Bruce Wayne's. He's the only one who can do both. Again, I disagree. But as the martial arts part, Chris Bell did the most martial arts scenes in any of the movies because he showed him training in a martial art camp. Mm-hmm. So the fighting scenes. Now here's the argument saying the people say, "Oh, how can he fight with all that gear?" Seriously, they can figure a way out. It's very simple to fight that. The best fighting scene I saw from a martial art Batman is not a cartoon. It's not a movie. It's from the Arkham series game. The game. Literally, watch the series.
Which is essentially a cartoon. I mean, it's
kind of. Yeah.
It's not necessarily animation, but think about it, like the fight with him and Bane, right?
It's
now,
cheesy.
both of these guys
Stupid.
are from the League of Shadow guys, so you would think you would be seeing this incredible level of martial arts, but it was just like you hit me and I'll hit you. You know what I mean? It just didn't sell me that these guys are just
Let me explain why. That last production, the third one, where you had Bane, they were forced with a tight budget, and I had an issue. Why can they take their time and produce a masterpiece like they did before? Because Batman Begins, Batman Return was good, and the third installment was kind of like. This is why I have a disdain for the American movie theater industry, because when it comes to fight scenes, they're so watered down, they're so lame. It's not even funny anymore.
See, here's my thing.
I don't waste my time watching it. Because I remember when they were arguing about why Jet Li did not join the Matrix 2 movie, because he was saying, you don't need me there. You got somebody there. There was an issue due to pay. Here what the problem is. In American movie industry, there are a lot of movies that have Asian characters who can be done by Asian character only. They were watered down and have an American character play that, and we're all kind of it's kind of like a disrespect. But there's the reason why a lot of great martial artists who are actors don't want to do movies if they're gonna be looked down upon.
Right, or they're gonna make it where, like I said, the guy who doesn't know martial arts beats the guy who is a martial artist.
Just like the Iron Fist series. The Iron Fist series they had on Netflix, it was pretty good. I give it to it, but the thing is, remember what I said, representation. American movie industry don't know how to do it properly, and they will never will. This is why they downtrodden of impact when it comes to action movie. People are referring to look for action movie outside the American industry.
Right.
See, here's the thing with American movies. Hang on a second, David.
Yes.
The American movie thing, they try. Okay, Transformers are a great example. The first one was a success. They try to budget that, set a small budget, and do it in 6 months. Get it out under the year. Ninja Turtles, another good question. The reboot I'm talking about, not the original. The original is a classic in my opinion, but the reboot was a pretty decent movie. Let's be honest. And then the reboot was out in less than a year again. I'm like, the fuck? They try to shove this content down your throat. And such thing as over content is called, I think, when they put too much content out, like the ninjas we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So that is a problem with some movies. That's what my problem in American theater is. You want me to watch all these movies, but you're shoving them, but eventually I lose interest. It was too much. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Although shout out to the Ninja, the original one. That's still one of my sort of cult classics. The 1991 from New Line Cinema. That was pretty bad. That was pretty good when it came out.
That was a badass movie, Brandon. What are you talking about?
Ninja Turtles 1990. That was. I didn't like the sequel that much, but
I like that. The sequel, the Cigaroos. Like
it was kind of hit or miss for me. And then they did another one. Though they did another one years later. Oh, they did I guess the recent reboot that they had done with the live action.
Yeah,
I thought the first one was okay, but the 1991 that's almost like an underground kind of hit thing. I don't think they were expected to do as well as it did, but it definitely got people. And remember, that was around the time again the Ninja Turtle game came out. I think like around 87, 88. So it definitely came out at the right time. I would say that.
I totally agree with you, and I don't think the second one, Michael Bay actually did it. I'm not 100% positive about that. I'm looking up right now. I'm curious because that makes sense. Because if Michael Bay didn't do it, that makes a lot of sense. And I tell you right now. Fun fact: they're actually making another one. Another Ninja Turtle movie, but it's called Ninja Turtle: The Ronin. That most of them are dead, and Raphael goes after and defends them up.
Yeah,
It didn't work for now.
It's very dark. They want to make it real.
And people don't understand the Ninja Turtles originally was very dark, actually.
Oh yeah. You talking about the comic book?
Yes.
That I remember as well. Yeah, I didn't read a lot of it, but I read that later on. That it wasn't, the cowabunga and all the other stuff kind of came later. But listen, guys, I got to run. Seriously, I got to go take care of something. So I'm gonna sign off.
And we'll finish up anyway.
I'll see you tomorrow. And
definitely.
We'll take it from there.
I'll close out here.
Good night.
You too, brother. See ya. Black David, do you have anything else to finish off? So we close out.
I'm just gonna say this. Anybody want to get into these martial arts movies, you gotta start doing your homework from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s because there is a long library of this thing. There's a streaming service called Hangout where it's broadcast nothing but great movies from multiple different eras and different regions. I'll tell you, look that one up. I'm just hoping, right now Netflix is trying to do something to beat up Crunchyroll and all the other streaming service out there. Something that many others never think about, but I will say that Netflix, if you're watching, you're hearing, you need to create a section in your product where there's one section for martial art movie and there's another section for animation. People love that, but I bet you will shut down Crunchyroll faster than you think. And I hope I can buy some stock in it before it happens, so I can make money off it. So it's a great conversation. I will make sure I come into my hours. I don't know. I passed out. I don't know what happened to me. My body shut me down. I'm going through a lot right now, but I'm okay.
As long as you're good, brother. That's what we care about at the end of the day. Listen, you're the first time on the show. I want to say, as the host and the director, the CEO, and the owner of the channel, you're always welcome here.
Anytime.
Before I leave you, I have a question for you. What are you doing next Saturday?
Next Saturday, like I said, my Saturday are always open, and just I'm trying to burn myself out.
So, next Saturday, we are talking about a topic that you have to attend. And because I will track you down here. Which martial arts style is the best?
Oh, God. That's not going to be easy.
So I cannot beat the host, and I'm gonna make Paul the host of the channel, the show that day, because I'm gonna be biased, and I cannot be biased. I'm gonna ask him tomorrow or sometime. Tell him, I need you to be.
You need to bring Mandrill on this.
I'm gonna contact him. I've been meaning to text him. I just haven't had time, to be honest with you, because I've been busy myself.
Bring him on there because he had to have a say in it one, because he practiced jiu-jitsu. And he's
You know what my issue is? That son of a bitch. I love him to death, but he doesn't know how to stay on. He's 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 1 minute off. Dude, just stay on. Stay there. He's like a little chew up. Like, oh no, score. Hopefully his girl made him take his medication finally. Shit. Okay. Schedule.
I did that topic back in college. It was a heated debate. It was a heated debate. You have people calling out styles that we never even heard of, but it actually existed. It kind of like you cannot compare because today's show, he got me looking up the Ninja series, Ninja movie that came out in the 80s. That I was like trying to find the DVD for this. Now you got me. I don't know why you did it to me.
Side note,
you got me hunting movies.
Side note, one movie that is finally on fucking Prime that I'm gonna probably order. Not Prime. I'm going to is one of my good one. Not one of my favorites was as a kid. Now it's a good one. Psychic. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, the kids.
No, it's with Chuck Norris and the guy from Sequest. I can't forget his name.
I'm trying to remember what that is. Now you got me go. You know what? Let me check out my job.
I'm actually gonna bring it right now. Hang on 1 second.
Let's see.
It came out in 1992, actually.
Looking for the movie.
I'm gonna put it in the chat right now for you. Oh,
I can't even see the chat on it. I'm trying to do this.
You know what? I'll send it to you in a message right now. Hang on 1 second. Let me get in there.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, Sidekick. I see it.
You see it?
Oh, the kid. I remember that.
Unfortunately committed suicide. That's why he's not around anymore. That's when you see him in early 2000s. What? Unfortunately, yeah. I found out one day I was doing like, yeah, I came across Sequest was a couple years back. I go, what the fuck happened to this kid? I just look at him like he committed suicide with depression because I guess the he couldn't have a regular life like me and you do because as a famous person, you know that it's very hard to have a real life. Anyway, really fast. Let's do a quick schedule redo. So tomorrow, gray area, 9:30. Be on time, Black David, because you have a habit of starting the show late. So Wednesday, we are talking about. You might like this topic actually on Wednesday. It's called. We're doing hardworking men, the backbone, and the secrets. And next Saturday, I already said it, I'm going to say it again. We're talking about which martial arts style is the best. I am not going to be the host. I'm going to be my own guest. And how does that play? I'm going to be a guest on my own show. I'll figure it out. I always do. I'm going to ask Paul to take over the leadership that day. Because of... I think I'm being too biased, to be honest, because I've been studying martial arts all my life, and I don't think it's fair for me to say, hey, let me be X, Y, Z. You think I'm right, David?
And you're right, because, like I say, even though you're going to be biased, I'll be conflicting with you. I was like, I'm not sure, because, I got it late when I was in junior high school and everything, but when I started to do my homework and we talked about it, I realized it's far much bigger than what it is, and I was like,
it's so much martial arts out there. It's so much martial art, different type of styles out there. I will be honest and throw this on limb and quote me on next week when I'm going to say this. All of them are good in their own different ways. That I will say. Everyone has their own good style. You just have to find what works for you and your style and your body. Because I cannot I'll use wife in the chat, for example. Her structure cannot work really well with, Jen Kudo, for example. It might work with Judo, for example. You have to find what's good for you and deal with it. Not deal with it, learn it and master it. But always explain this time. Side note, if you're into ninja stuff, ninjutsu is actually the art of martial arts, of ninja. So, except that. David, anything else before we close out?
I want to close out. I don't know. How would I put it? Ninjutsu was actually the style that was actually made to go against what the Shogun was pushing karate, which is part of that samurai art. I would say people need to start studying the history of some of these art, understand the backstory behind it, why it came to existence, and from there you're able to start enjoying movie better. Because Mr. Better did put a sign about the Batman movie, and I can't argue with him.
No, he does have a lot of good points. I'm not going to disagree with that,
I
but
can't either.
everybody has their own type. It is a movie entity. We gotta keep that in mind. Like, honestly, in real life, can you fight correctly with all that gear on? No. Let's be honest.
And the thing is, even though it's no, you can't. But when you start watching the Japanese, the Chinese movie, whereby they had way more gear and the kind of gear they had on, they made it look like it was not holding them back. They start to understand. People don't understand fighting art, but they should. But what I say, American movies watchers are not really good critics. Like, how can I find all this gear? And I'm watching a Japanese or Chinese movie where we got a secret platoon, or I don't know what to call them, and the gear they had on it, they were doing with the gun and everything, type of fight thing. I don't know how you fight and shoot at the same time, like it's a martial art kind of thing. And what they were doing, it made Batman, you can't even fight better than me? Man, get the hell out of here. I'm like, yo, you got to start doing your homework. That's why I say I don't watch martial art movie with non-martial art respecters, or how you want to say, people who understand it, because they know nothing about it.
And you have a very, very legit point there. I'm not going to disagree with that one bit.
Free running parkour is a byproduct of martial art. Okay, I don't know about that. That to let you know. So, if you don't know anything about parkour, a lot of people who did make martial art and everything, they got bored and started doing no type of quitting, running off building and stuff like that. And then the way how to break your fall coming from mixed martial art. So let that be known. All right. Yeah. Other than that, ain't not much to say, because this is a crazy topic. You got me going back doing homework now all of a sudden.
Next week's gonna be worse. We're still gonna be friends at the end of the day, but we're gonna argue a lot next week. Just give me your bell.
Oh, of course we're gonna argue. We're gonna argue a lot, and we're gonna go based on who practiced it better.
I don't know who's gonna pop the ball out of Paul. Do you want me to pop the ball, or should you? It's my show. I have to get responsibility. Anyway, guys, this was Grimmin Reviews. I am the Ghost of Sparta. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and see you guys next time.